road again.
Y'all should go ahead and roll and figure out who has to.
Yeah.
Well, there's only one person who can roll for that.
That's right.
Designated roller.
It is. I'm not. I would never take this away from B. I like how B says she has a roll 20 loaded and she's not in roll 20.
What am I talking about? Okay, I rolled a 3.
You would literally, I just pulled it up. You aren't. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
You have the website open.
Yeah, you're not in the game.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so the recap would be the one, the only, the unsatiable. Craig.
I thought I was off the list.
Nope, Compton was the. Oh wait, yeah, he did it before. Compton. So
I was about to do a bit about how one through 4.
Raina. B, it's your turn.
What?
Yeah. I gotta do it by counting C. Compton, them are off, so it goes B, Raina, B. That's 3. I do it like eeny, meeny, miny, moe, but with numbers.
Just changing it so I don't have to push to talk.
On the road again.
Oh my god, don't check for updates. This is a fatal mistake.
Everything is breaking. I love it. This is the best way to start D&D.
Get all the breakage out of the way in the beginning, right?
Let's test.
Yeah, this is why I said we're not starting until Shotgun, so we can get all this figured out.
So here's the thing, B. Don't stress about these notes. Just recount what you know.
Yeah, recount what Stoat knows.
Alrighty. Well, we started our session. Craig came back from the forest and he went and got a plate of raw meat. Brought it to his room and he devoured it and felt satiated for probably the first time ever since having a bit of a cannibal moment. Anyway, in the morning, I love you. In the morning, we wake up in the cuddle puddle. Or actually, we hear some noises going on in the... What?
I thought you just said cuddle puddle, not a cuddle huddle. I was like, that's a lot of goop going on in that situation. If it's a cuddle puddle.
What's the cuddle puddle?
There's it's gotta love that moisture.
Continue.
Okay.
I'm in the mood today. Don't mind me.
So we wake up and we check the inn, and Compton notices that Ophelia and Lunadrim, they fucking. So he closes the door and tells us to go the fuck back to bed. So we go back to bed, we wake up, and this time we were hearing Carlar, who's coming to check the horses, talking with Thomas, and they're talking about like, oh, we need a new mayor for the town, who should we get? And they're talking about people who they would suggest. When we wake up, Compton kind of is like, just very pointed towards Carlar. It's like, hey, you ever make any of those bolts that might shoot out of a makeshift crossbow? And Carlar got very uncomfortable. He makes to leave the barn, and I think Raina had gone around to the outside and she pulls him back in, and then she runs into him, but it's not until Craig grabs him by the arms like, let's go. You're being called. So then we just interrogate the shit out of Carlar for the next probably hour or two. And we get a lot of information out of him. He's been working for Thamar for probably 5 years, but it wasn't only until a year ago that he started living in his basement. But Thamar is now gone. Thamar has burnt up the basement, and all that's left is a mirror. We ask him about if he knows anything about what's happening outside of town. He doesn't seem to really know anything about it, but he did it was confirmed that he made the tripod, I believe. And we identified that one of the victims was the one that came to get that tripod made, and that there's still another guy, Fulmus or something like that. Fulmus?
Fultist.
Anyway, there could be Fultist. He could be still alive. And then we got some insight on the blueprint. And I think for me, the most interesting part about that was that it had room for something to be running through it. And kind of interesting. Thomas told us about his wild night out at the Sultry Apple and becoming a man thanks to Papa Compton.
I'll never forget you.
Anyways, and then we kind of have a bit of a pointed moment between Stoat and Craig. Compton tries to tell a story to get us, to chill out a little bit. How emotions can run high, and his kid bit the other kid, but it was fine in the end. I think Craig's still feeling a bit, not feeling good about what happened. Decides to take his meal when we go inside the inn by himself. He goes up to his room and prays. Lunadrim stops by. Reyna goes to wash up. Lunadrim stops by and talks about going after the seer. And then... Okay, and then we group up and we go to the blacksmith. Eventually, we all round up. We group up. We go to the blacksmith. We check out the basement. It's been burnt to shit. There is the mirror. Compton starts checking it out, and a face appears in the mirror. Through talking with Compton, it reaches out and touches him. Compton goes dumb. We carry his ass back to the inn as he slowly regains his memories. I forgot a whole bunch of stuff. We got Carlar to go steal Joffrey's glasses. We got Thomas to go get a new suit or something for Compton, new jacket. There's a lot happening in this town. We're just in the room right now having a whiskey after getting into some shit at the blacksmith and iced tea. True, and Compton's telling us about Lady Hoyne and also whether or not we should follow what's his name? Durant's orders.
Thomas found our book too.
Thomas found our book?
The Crimson Ode. He dropped it off at the room.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I missed all the small details at the end there.
You did incredibly well.
You
That was
did.
very well done. You got everything.
I do have to say, though, it is entirely correct, procedurally speaking. Hearing her called Lady Hoyne is fucking weird.
Why?
It's that is her last name, but I don't know. It sounds like a complete phrase, Lady Silverhorn.
True.
Oh.
You gotta put respect on that, or Will Smith will show up.
Oh, you put plenty of
She's one
respect by
those
referring to her as
first name, last
lady.
name people.
Oh man.
Let's get into it. Let's go.
Let's go.
Well done. So, as we ended the session, exactly as Stoat said, you ended in the room. Many things still on your mind as you all discussed where you were all thinking of heading after this day. Many threads still currently to wrap up within the town of Corston. You can all feel that your time is coming to an end within this small town, a small village. And bigger and maybe better things are on the horizon. The room falls silent. And what is everybody looking to do next? Let's start off with Stoat. What were you thinking of doing next?
Day is it?
It is currently exactly what you have posted. 2 p.m.
Jo doesn't really have anything that she's feeling pressed on.
Reyna?
I think that Reyna's just kind of soaking it all all this information in.
All right. Craig.
If everybody is just kind of standing around and like there is no conversation going, Craig's gonna leave. He's gonna go downstairs and go start dealing with Jaffe.
Get us some actual whiskey.
He's just gonna kind of like take one look around the room, nod to himself, and then leave. Fully cognizant of the fact that he's leaving everybody else in his room, but like it's whatever. He doesn't have any show or stealing. And also
Alright.
trust these people.
Easy enough. Heading downstairs, you see that the tavern is still livelier than usual. Many patrons have started to fill in, not as busy as when you first all arrived around the noon hour. Many people were having lunch / late breakfast. Many have cleared out, but you see that people are still just lingering, seeming to be enjoying their drinks, and you see Jaffe going from table to table the best he can.
Do I just at a glance see Ophelia or Lunadrum like out and about?
You do not see Ophelia, but Lunadrim, you see she is making her rounds around the table, putting her hands upon people's shoulders, just greeting everybody with a warm smile, cleaning up plates, because as you see, Jaffe goes from one table, he trips over one of the chairs, falls down, picks himself up, and he, oh, I'm sorry, at everybody, but he still is trying to do his best to get his work done. Lunadrim is picking up the slack and making sure that everybody is being served and has a warm smile on her face.
Hey, Craig is just gonna go right to Jaffe, kind of like calling across the floor when he hits the bottom of the stairs. Hey, Jaffe, you got a second?
Oh, yeah, Craig, that's you. Yep. Just give me one second. Do you mind meeting me over by the bar?
Can you find your way to the bar?
Yeah, it's. And you can see as he heads in that direction, the reason why he picked it is unlike where all the tables are placed closely together, there is a nice clearing in front of the bar. So he's able to walk. He knows the direction he's going, and you see he's kind of doing the foot is leading and kind of pointing to where he's going to make sure he doesn't bump into the stools.
Tremendous. Yeah, he will meet him at the bar.
Craig, yes. I believe Ophelia is doing the potato skins again today. I remember the first night you arrived, you were a big fan of those. And they'll be ready again tonight. Not now, for sure, but I'm going to be wrapping up here pretty soon before I head off to the Apple. Anything I can do for you?
Yeah, actually, could you just take a sit for me real quick?
Yeah. And you see he puts his hand out and then pats where the seat is and then hoists himself up.
All
What
right,
can I do
great.
for you?
Okay, I need you to just sit still for just a minute, okay?
Okay, that's fine. Oh, is this? I know mum's the word, but is this like one of the acts of the troupe?
Jaffe, if that makes you feel better about it, yeah, sure.
Okay. And he kind of like scoots up in his chair, his little small, halfling legs, kind of just like pointing out directly.
He's going to bend down so he is eye to eye with Jaffe. Place a hand over his amulet and start praying.
Okay.
And he will, with a spell slot, cast Detect Magic.
As soon as you cast it, you can once again. At first, the nice, soft, salty sea air rushes over you as you know that the contact has been made to call upon these divine powers. But as that smell wafts past, all of a sudden you get an almost rancid, rotting fish smell, as on those really hot, warm summer days, when fish have just washed up on the shore and haven't been able to go back into the sea, and they're just stewing in the sun. That smell wafts across your skin, across your nose. And as you're like looking around, you can sense that the smell is coming directly from Jaffe.
He definitely makes a face and is thankful that Jaffe can't see it.
Mm-hmm. And if you spend a minute there, just like going over the smells as you like associate them with what they are, this is the smell of death wafting across your nose. And out of character, you would know that is a sign of necromancy.
Yeah. Wow, that's... God, that's fucked up. He just like nods to himself. Okay. Yeah, cool. Great. That's great. Hey, Jaffe, buddy.
Yeah, Greg.
You sit right here. I'm gonna be back in a minute. We're gonna go for a walk in a second.
All right. Well, like I said, I gotta get going.
I'm gonna take care of that. Don't you worry.
Okay. And he looks over at Luna Drim. Just 1 second, Miss Drim.
He is gonna go over to Luna Drim.
Okay.
And just like not like walk right up to her, but get like catch her attention and like wave for her to like come here. Out of the way, because he doesn't want to have this conversation in the middle of a bunch of people.
All right. Luna Drim sees you wave over and kind of like gives one of them a pat on the back, and then excuses herself and goes in your direction. Yes. Craig, what is it? What can I do for you?
Hey, I'm gonna need to take Jaffe for a minute.
Well, it's about that time. I expected him to be heading off pretty soon.
But I just wanted to let you know that he's heading now, because I gotta... We learned some stuff about some stuff, you know? And he winks. So I'm gonna see if I can't fix his problem. Or not, I'm gonna fix his problem. I'm gonna take him to people who can fix his problem.
Jaffe is an important person to me. Could you be a little less mysterious?
Yeah, cool. Very, very good. Did Miss Ophelia tell you about a magic fellow?
She informed me there was a group of individuals who were blackmailing her with their past, yes.
Okay, so the sort of local fella in charge of all that, right? It's my understanding that he came into town and then Jaffe started seeing bad.
Alright.
I think those things are connected. And I just took a sniff at him. He's silly with real bad magic.
Alright. If you... magic isn't my forte, so if you think that you can get him fixed, then... Alright, no problem. For sure, you can take him.
Alright, incredible. Thank you. I just wanted to let you know, because it feels weird being... You know what, I'm not gonna... This is fine. See you. Good evening. We'll be back. I'll be back. He won't be back. He's got to work elsewhere.
Okay.
And he will return to Jaffe. Alright, bud. How do you want to do this? Because I got to walk you, like, across town.
Oh, I can easily walk. I can walk. I can, and then he jumps off the table, jumps off the chair. Let me see. Lands on his feet, just kind of like doot doot. He's like, I can walk, no problem, easy enough. You walking me to work? That'd be great.
Not quite. We're taking the detour, but then I'll take you the rest of the way to work. Fine.
Oh, okay. If as long as we're not too late, I'm happy to do it.
Oh, trust me. If we come to trouble, I'll talk to Charles. It'll be fine.
Well, no problem. And if you're coming, it's all you have for. That's where the distillery is, the big one. I can make you something special while we're there.
I was going to talk to you about that, but it felt less important than what we're doing right now. Let's go.
Talking about drinks is never not important.
I'm telling you, Jaffe, you're going to be mighty surprised, and I think you'll agree with me that it's less important than this.
All right. And he kind of like, do you walk in front of him?
Absolutely. I think that, like, because, like,
Yeah.
he doesn't want to do something as condescending as, like, holding his hand or whatever. But
So
he's going to
you
walk in
have-
front of him.
So you have a really high passive perception. Oh, nice dinosaur. So as you're about to
hell
walk
yeah,
and
dude.
head off, with your passive perception, you see he like stays 1 or 2 steps behind, and because you are wearing your long robes without your armor on, you see he kind of like catches the corner of your robe, very like pretending he's not doing it, but you can feel that little tug for a moment, like because you can take steps much larger than him. You feel that little boop on it, and you see him hurry up a little bit. He's definitely holding onto your ropes to help guide him.
He makes absolutely no acknowledgement of this, but he does slow down just a little bit, so Joffrey
Alright.
doesn't have to keep pace.
Yeah, you got good passive perception. The other 3, what are you doing up in the room? Yes, so.
I've moved towards the window and I'm looking for animals. I'm just like looking outside, looking for mostly just what's around.
Yeah, roll a perception check.
Okay, 14, I think.
14, yeah. Easily enough. Looking around, you do see like there is a cat down on the street level that scurries across, dodging through people, then it goes up onto a windowsill and lays down, finding a new ray of sunlight to lay and rest in. You see that the birds and high, they started to return for the springtime off in the distance. But you see across the roadway, there are about 2 or 3 crows that are perched up on the peak of one of the houses, and they're just looking around maybe for their next meal or so. General animals that you would see out and about.
Stoat's gonna actually, if she sees crows sitting on the rooftop, she's gonna leave.
Going out the window? Or are you going out the room?
I don't think she would try to go out the window. She would leave the room and she's gonna look what those crows are, what their next meal is. She's looking to follow those.
Okay. The other 2, you see Stoat leave the room.
Well, I think Compton would have left when Crag did, because the conversation's over, right? Like,
Okay. Yeah.
I think he would have waited just a little bit before heading downstairs, like to see if there was anything else going on. But before leaving, he's gonna let the others know. Hey, so I'm gonna go sit up downstairs. I got the book, right? And we got, actually, Stoat, you've got all the things that I might need. Do you mind if I take the bag for a little bit? I know you're kind of fond of it, but it's got all the stuff.
You told me not to give it to anyone.
I'm trying to think if I meant us, because it's possible at the time I did, but I don't know. Here's the deal.
Why don't you take the things you need out of it, and I'll help you carry them down.
That'd be great too. Then you can keep the bag. Yeah, can I please have the letters in the journal and the book again? The book being the Children of Padilla specifically. So the letters from the Hell House, the journal from the Hell House, and the book of Padilla.
She starts producing it.
So we got this stuff. All right, so my thought is we've got a day. I know we got to talk to Orsic, but I feel like that's a group thing, and Craig left, right? So if it ain't bother you much, I think maybe we can just go downstairs. I'm going to grab a table in the corner and do some reading. Is that okay? Can we do that?
That seems fun.
All right. Okay, if you want to come with me, Rainey, you're more than welcome, as always. You know, that's good company and whatnot. And then...
Yeah, I'm coming with you. What if you touch something?
We're in Lunadria Museum. What do you mean nothing gonna hurt me here?
You never know.
God damn. Okay, you're not wrong, but I don't feel good about it. Okay, let's go. Break. And then Compton will leave the room. Do we need to lock up Craig's room?
Well, Stoat stay behind, and she'll look out the window and see what she sees. That's okay.
That works.
So it's up to Snow if it gets locked or not.
I don't know. She doesn't have a good track record with the horses. So.
I know.
And she's distracted, so she's not gonna lock that room when she leaves.
All right.
No, absolutely not.
But then, yes.
You two head downstairs. Yeah.
Yeah, and specifically, Compton's going to ask whether it be Jaffe, Lunadrim, or Ophelia.
At this point, when you would all come downstairs, you would see that Craig is in a conversation with Jaffe.
Okay. So Lunadrim's out there, though.
Yep.
Perfect. I'm gonna go up to her and say, "Hey, Miss Lunadrim, do you mind? You know the table you got the straw man set up at? The one that's kind of in the corner. Do you mind if I use that? I got some work I need to do, and I notice it's kind of off to the side."
Yes. Our regular patrons in town, they know all about that, so you can happily sit there. One or two of them might get a laugh.
Fantastic. Oh, also, I wanted to say, I didn't mention this earlier because I was just so pleased that you and your wife lady had made up in the way that you did. It looks y'all got a bunch of folks around. That's good. That's fantastic. Business is booming.
It's doing all right. A lot of people are coming here kind of showing support. People are kind of more progressing throughout the town, making sure everybody's okay. Some people feel more comfortable talking about the happenings within town here more than at the Sultry Apple. As some of the patrons I talk to, like Gregory over there, this is more of a place to have how would you say, more solemn conversation than to drown your sorrows.
Fuck, that kind of messes up my idea. I was about to offer to buy a round for like the house, but
it's all right. Everybody's here well taken care of on there. How about this? The next drink that everybody gets over time, I'll tell them it's on you.
Yeah, that sounds great, but not on me, like on the group.
No, that's fine. Yes.
Okay. Cause
well, if we're going to call you a group, what would we call you?
Oh man, that's a tough one, huh? I don't know. Because we're kind of like an odd bunch, aren't we?
The odd bunch, all right. I'll
no, that's not it. I'm just saying we're kind of like, no, that's not the... Whatever, I guess.
Group name established. Too late.
Guess that's what it is.
The pumpkin patch.
The odd bunch. Regardless. Hey, Raina, you want to come? Fuck, I was going to order a drink and she just walked away. All right. I'm going to go set up at the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will give me the seat facing the door.
Wait, you want me to put my back to the door?
You're both. Yeah. If you both want to sit, it's easy enough to sit with your back because that's the whole point of this corner table. As long as you're not sitting on the opposite side of the table, you're easy enough. So you'd be both like standing, probably sitting on opposite sides of this little scarecrow guy, with him wedged in between both of you.
That's hilarious.
If you wanted to sit with your back up to the table, so it'd be like Compton, Scarecrow, Raina.
You know what? Here's the deal, because that just feels kind of silly to have the straw man between us. Maybe I'll sit with my back to the door. I trust that you make sure I ain't gonna die. That sound good.
Okay. That feels like a lot of pressure, but I do feel more comfortable being the one facing the door than having you face the door.
Right, it makes sense, because if a threat were to come through, they got to get through me first, which gives you like ample time to run. It's the best place to sit, right? Because it's just the body's between. And Compton just starts walking to the table.
And when you came downstairs, did you have all of the books and stuff with you, or did you just have the bag? You had all the books and everything like that?
Yeah, like a stack.
Okay. So, as you had like the stack already and everything like that, when Lunar Gym went off, by the time you went back to the table, as soon as you sit down and get comfortable, Lunar Gym shows back up, and she puts 4 cups. One's a little bit taller, one's a little bit shorter, and she puts 2 pots. And she points to them. She goes, "This one here is for the coffee, and I don't know if any of you want tea, but this one is also for tea." She looks at Compton. "I know you like coffee, and I seen you only had 1 cup today.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. You're so good at this, Luna Dream.
She gives a smirk.
I mean that sincerely, though, because this is absolutely wonderful. I'm going to need all this. Thank you.
And I apologize, Rain. I haven't had that much interactions with you as of yet. What can I get you?
I would just like a glass of whiskey, but I would like to ensure that it is whiskey before drinking it.
Easy enough. All right. Would you like me to bring you 2 of our brands?
No, 1 is fine. I just need it to be whiskey.
All right. I will be right back. Easy enough. She walks away very quickly. You see she's greeting people as she walks, picking up a couple orders. Probably about 2 or 3 minutes later, she comes back with a tray, drops off a couple drinks on the way to your table because you're in the far corner, and then drops you off just a small glass, only filled up about maybe half of the way of your cup, and then puts it in front of you.
Thank you.
In that time,
and you can tell with your passive perception, it is definitely. Yep.
No, it's definitely whiskey. I appreciate that. God, it would have been great if it was iced tea, wouldn't it? While you're having that conversation with Luna, Compton is that fucked up kid at the library who has decided that the whole table is a work surface, and I've grabbed another chair and I've got stuff on the chair. Like, I'm just spreading out. I'm I'm taking up all the space. I want to see as much paper as possible. So like, if you're turning and talking to Luna and you turn back around to see the table, it is transformed into just a mass of writing and stuff.
Raina's gonna take her drink and like not put it on the table because at first she like tries to find a spot and then she's like and just holds it.
So, oh shit, sorry. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
It's
I'm just
fine.
used to put. You just put it
It's
on
fine.
the paper. It's fine.
Well, that doesn't feel right. But you do it. It's fine.
And as you're all there talking over your drinks, trying to figure out what you're about to do next. So you would have walked through the middle. Or did you go out the window?
She's almost running. She's like, she feels like very compelled to be going this direction right now.
Okay. So do you head out through the main... All right, yeah. So you head out. Are you going around, or are you like going straight through the dining room very quickly?
She's running down the stairs and then just walking swiftly through the bar.
Yep. You make it through. You see Lunadrim looks at you for a second, but sees you're in a hurry and doesn't say anything to you as you pass. And you head out the door.
Okay.
And what are you looking for?
She's trying to find where those crows were sitting.
Yeah. So you wrap around. The couple of citizens are all walking out. You see Craig and looks like Jaffe heading down the street towards where you remember seeing the chapel. And as you round the building to the side where the window is poking out, you see once again the crows are up top looking out. Roll me a perception check.
9.
9 on there. You see the crows as a the cluster of them up on the roof are cawing away. It looks like something has their attention, but you can't see exactly what as of yet.
She's gonna make her way there swiftly so that she's not gonna miss it. But as she gets within, like 50-ish feet, or just before that, she's gonna start being a little more stealthy.
Okay, roll me a stealth check.
Stealth? 19.
19. So as you hear the cawing getting louder, you see that the couple of crows have become a murder of crows. As you round the building, there's a small fence, probably only about 7 feet tall, on the one side of the building that you're about to round, and you see an archway that opens up the fence. The crows you can see now that were on the peak, as you're getting closer to this building, you see where the roof slants down. On the lower part of the slope, there are probably about 10 to 12 crows all sitting on that ledge looking down. as you go around, you see there's a man there in very plain, almost hunting type clothes. Simple brown shirt, wearing a leather type apron with a very long skinning knife, and he looks like he's cutting into what looks to be a venison, and he's starting to skin it.
It's not what she was looking for, but she's just gonna hide in the shadows and watch him work while the crows are still there.
Yeah. He just sits there, and you see he's working overtime, taking the guts, chucking it into a bucket, and as he does, you see the crows just hop down, and whenever he's not looking in their direction, they grab something out of the bucket and then fly up to the back to the roof.
Can I get an idea? Like, he's just 100% just a butcher? Is that...
You can roll me an insight check.
Natural one.
As far as you can tell, he just seems to be either a hunter or a local butcher. Just looks like he's cleaning a fresh kill.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. She's just she's hiding in the shadows, and she's people watching the crows. That's it.
Stoat and not Stoat, Craig and Jaffe, you head down. So we will load up the city map just to keep track where everybody is. So you're heading to the church, right, Craig?
Yes.
The city streets, once again, it's about the middle of the day. They're busy-ish. Many people look to be busy working, some cleaning out their carpets, others looking to be doing deliveries all across town, wrapped up bundles. As you walk the streets, you hear murmurs around town, and once again, with your passive perception, you see heads turn when you walk. Every so often, not everybody, but one or two people definitely take note of you as you travel. So where are we going? There, Craig.
We're heading on down to the chapel. And also, every time he catches somebody, like, looking at him for any prolonged period of time, he waves at them.
People give you a courtesy wave, but easily enough. You see that one little boy with his mom, that when she looks at you, and you give the wave, you see the boy's like, giving you the big wave, and then he's about to say something. The mom like covers his mouth, and she kind of gives you a look of like, I'm sorry, and then just keeps going.
He just gives him a great big smile and a very pointed, like, I'm looking at you, kid wave.
And then as she pulls him away, he looks, his mom is turning his head, going the opposite way. As she thinks his attention is going forward, he turns his head, looks at you, goes, no, sticking out his tongue at you. And with that, you both arrive in front of probably one of the only, it's not a 2-story building, but it's about 1.5. In front, you see 2 double doors made of a very nice dark brown wood. You see that it is reinforced with like steel planks on it that are all studded and riveted. On top of the door, you see at one point there may have been a stained glass window inside of there, but it's been fractured and altered and kind of patched over, and put halfway up over it, you see this symbol of a large silver gauntlet, and held in the silver gauntlet, pointing out in the direction, is a large stone hammer. You can roll me a religion check if you like.
Always. It's been a minute, I had to find my mod. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You know, you've seen this before. They're a smaller sect in Stillwater, not as large as what you've been hearing around in this area, but this is definitely the symbol of Bordanis, the neutral god of justice and law on there. Though the church symbol in your city is a little bit different. you can definitely tell the overarching of the blue and the silver symbology on it, as well as the silver gauntlet. In your church, it's actually a gauntlet holding a shield. So it's a shield in front with the gauntlet poking out of the top. You would know, especially with the Dirty 20, the Church of Bordanis in a lot of areas have sometimes been elected as like the law enforcement body. Though the city guards and everything like that take care of the day-to-day, the ones who prosecute it and then enforce the laws of a certain region sometimes are the Church of Bordanis. Stillwater, they aren't as big of that in Stillwater, but some regions do. When a criminal needs to be prosecuted and sent somewhere and punished, they let the Church of Bordanis take care of it. Yep, but as you approach, you see that on top of where the arch is, you see a plaque that, because you have very good passive perception, you notice it looks like it's been added after the fact, maybe not in the creation of this building, but it says over the top of the door, the Church of Divine Atonement.
And you mentioned the doors were closed, right?
They are currently closed.
This is an etiquette thing that I don't know, but Crag would probably know.
Yep.
Do we just walk into these places? Do we knock?
With a church, you mostly can always enter right in, but there will always be an area that is differently colored that you usually want to stay into until you're approached, unless you are a follower of the faith. Okay. You would know this, especially with your Dirty 20. You can usually always enter churches during the day, unless you push and the doors are locked. But most churches, depending on, especially with Bordanis, it is an open church that would allow people to go inside easily.
All right, so he will, making sure Joffy's right behind him, going inside.
As you enter inside, Joffy knows exactly where you are based on the size of the building. Why are we at the church here?
Well, you got a problem, Joffy, and I'm hoping these folks can fix it, because I can't.
No, my drink is not a problem. I got it well under control. I was sent here once before, 3 years ago. Didn't do much for me. They told me to find God and all that stuff, and the only way I could accept my problem was putting my faith in a higher power. And honestly, I'm not all for that whole thing. My higher power is, me, how much I can handle.
Of course, it bears saying that I would never ask you to fix that problem. I had an uncle had a drinking problem, died of dehydration. Poor fella, couldn't get nothing in his mouth.
All right, yeah. Well, we're not here for that. Then all more power to you.
Now you got a different sort of problem that needs a proper fixing. That ain't a problem.
All right, no problem. I'll trust you there, Craig. You say you're gonna bring me to work, so you kind of he's looking at the sun, trying to figure out what time it is. I ain't working. And he walks inside with you. All right, so as you walk inside, what are the other two doing?
Part of the reason Compton's spread out on the table is because he works that way, but also he's trying to take up as much visual real estate as possible. All right, he wants to be seen in this corner doing this thing openly with Reyna. Hey, Miss Reyna, real quick, just because I'd feel a little bit bad about it. Last night you woke me up because we had heard the sound, and it ended up being Miss Luna Dream and Miss Ophelia doing the thing that makes, good times.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. I do want to apologize for the state that we found ourselves in, only because we hadn't talked about it, and that was presumptuous. And yeah.
I mean, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. We were sleeping. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Good to know. That's.
we picked where we slept.
Yeah. That was a choice.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So just don't worry about it, though.
Don't worry about it.
I feel better about that. So with this stuff here, is there something specific you want to look at? I'm real interested in figuring out how this Crimson Ode fits into the whole, bigger picture here. But
Yeah. Well, is there anything I can do to help with any of this? Like, what are you,
yeah.
I don't know what your process is going to be.
So I'm gonna tell you what I was thinking about doing, and then you could tell me what you think, right? So my thought was, there's got to be something about these dates not being dates, right? And maybe these dates represent pages or chapters or something. Like they're the reference to this, and then we're supposed to use this to kind of. This is going to be a little bit of a stretch, right? But right. Hey, this date points us to this page, and this page maybe has a passage, and it's what we need, and then we're supposed to piece these together or something like that. I don't know for sure how this cipher works, but that's kind of the concept that we're working with. So maybe what we should do is try to look for similarities. Try to see if we can find a pattern, because if we can find the pattern first, then it's about trying to apply it in different situations to then kind of unlock the code.
Yes. So do you want to, we can divide it, right? So you give me the date code and then I look it up, or I can give you the code. One of us is reading from one thing.
Yeah. No,
the other, because
sure.
we only have one book.
We got one book, we got a bunch of journals, or we got a journal, we got a book, and we got a bunch of letters, right? So if we split the letters evenly, grab the journal, we can start looking through them. I got some extra parchment. Can you write?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wondering. And then what we can do is sit down and just see if we can figure out, first and foremost, the data. So like maybe collect all the dates, because we know the dates is weird. Mm-hmm. And then put them in an order and figure that out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
So why don't we sit where we can both see the book?
Yeah. No, that sounds great. Okay. So Compton. You know what though? Before I do that, I kind of want a whiskey now too, because the coffee is delicious. But I'm gonna go grab a whiskey. Here's the book. I'm gonna come back. I'll sit right next to you. Okay.
All right.
Don't
get in trouble.
I'm just going. It's just to the bar. It's right there.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay. But if something happens, you got it, right? Yeah. Okay. So,
I got it.
Okay. So Compton's gonna go to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Who's there?
It would be Lunadrim.
Okay,
You haven't seen Ophelia at all.
Okay. Oh, hey, Miss Lunadrim. I couldn't help myself. As much as I love the coffee, I'm gonna drink it, all of it, right? Can I have a whiskey too, please?
As soon as you say it, she pulls it out from behind her. She's like, I expected as much.
Y'all got like a place where people leave reviews? Because I'd love to just like write down something about y'all.
Word of mouth. I wired a mouth.
Oh, trust me, I'll tell folk. It'll be fine. I'm gonna tell everybody. Also, I figured it out. When people ask who he is, can you just tell them the expat contingency? Can you do that? Instead of
she reaches out from under the bar, grabs like a little strip of paper, and grabs out like a little charcoal piece. What the heck did you call yourselves?
No, I mean, look. Okay, so here's the thing. I didn't want to have to. Expat, yeah, contingency, yeah, because this is none of us is from here, right? So we're all expatriates of sorts, and yeah, that's perfect. It's way shorter than what I said. That makes sense. The ex-cons.
Sorry. Oh no, the expat contingency. Sorry, I just have to say things in short form to remember them in long form. That's
an interesting method, but I'm not here to besmirch, the way you do things. Education's important for everybody in the way that they get it. I appreciate you. This is a wonderful drink. Let everybody know if we buy drinks for them, it's the group. And I'm real happy for y'all. That's all.
I already told this to Stoat, but all of you actually, I'll have a conversation with you within the next day or two. So please just do what you're doing. It's packed in here. I just got to get some stuff done.
Yep.
Ophelia's. We expect a big dinner crowd tonight, so she's cooking away. But if you need anything, I'll make my way around. I promise.
Oh, and before I forget, and I know you're busy, it's my fault Thomas is not in the barn when he's not out there. That's not on him. So just so you're aware.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
I know. Thomas is not one to, if you want secrets to be kept, is not the one to be told.
Yeah, it's kind of why I told him to get out the barn. I picked up on that. He told me a lot
and
about last night I didn't need to know.
When you told him that he could have the afternoon off, he came and told me that he had the afternoon off.
That's smart, getting out ahead of it and whatnot. I hope you're not mad at me. It's just like we needed the barn and he was just not leaving.
Yours were the only horses, so he said he had them are taken care of. And if you're paying him to leave, then you get what you get.
That's fair. Linda's not leaving.
You
no.
see another person raise up their hand. I gotta go. I'm really sorry.
Thank you.
And he just heads off.
Yep, perfect. And then Compton will return to the table with his drink. And effectively, I think we're going to sit down and try to do some sleuthing.
Roll me intelligence check.
Okay, intelligence checks. Nat 20, 25.
Okay.
Hey, let's
And
go.
are you going to well, it doesn't matter if you assist, but you can also roll me 1 too, Raina.
I did. This is why I don't use digital dice.
9.
Come here, Linda.
Okay, so what are you working on specifically, Compton?
Specifically, it's to like end game goals to decipher this code, right? We've got this book.
That's what you are.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you, with a natural 20, it isn't going to take you days. You sit there and you're going through the Crimson Ode, and you click on it. The numbers completely make sense to you. The first ones, the numbers go from very small to very large, ranging from 1 all the way to 256 to 300, right? Instantly, page number. Easy enough to go on there. And then you keep looking and going on that. Months don't make sense. All of a sudden, the month is like the first month, and then you figure out the month that you're putting down the day is actually the number for how many words you have to go to figure out your word. And then what they do is the last number on there is how many words you have to circle on this page to figure out the transcription of what this actual is. So your start page, how many words you got to go, how many words you got to find to get the whole actual thing. So over the time when you're working on it, everything like that, you will transcribe, and I will now show you. You had it, but here's actually what is everything in there.
God, this feels good.
So if you go to, I'll go show all players so you can see it. This is what you actually get from Lofar Thungren's journal.
So, and did we determine that the letters are the key to the journal itself? So the words on the letter are the keys to the words on the journal, or are they separate?
So they're separate. The letters on there, her letters were just more encoding, and you find out over time that the actual tripod, so the legs were made in town by Karlar. The actual tripod for the placement of the gem and everything like that was actually made by her sister. So her sister gets more sporadic because the letter that she's sending back towards him is he's not making sense. She's not understanding what's going on. Why is he asking for all these weird things? Why hasn't he been home for years at this point? And just gets more and more sporadic. And then over time, the name, she doesn't understand who she's talking anymore because the name changes.
Right. He becomes
the person who's contacting her. Exactly. So she's wondering who she's talking to, who's Lofar, and where has her brother gone.
Fucking dope.
All right. But Arena, as you're going through like the letters, it's just not clicking for you. But then over time, I would imagine, Compton, you would grab the book and then show everything to Reina, right? Okay, so you two can go over that. This is going to take you It's not an easy thing because you got to go through and everything like that. So this is going to be hours. You're probably going to be here for at least the next 3 to 4 hours doing all of this.
I expected to be here for the day, so that's
yeah. All right. So we will go back to Stoke. So as you're sitting there watching this individual cutting it up on there, you do notice as he's like cutting into the venison and he takes it out, you see like a very well sharpened silverly, like almost cutting knife, kind of looks like a dagger on there that he's been trimming up. And as he like skins it out, the blade looks really nice, and for a moment your brain plays a trick on you. You think for a moment, but then as he puts it down and it hits in the light, you know that this isn't it. Is there anything else you'd like to do around town? Oh.
Sorry about that. No, I think she would just watch, and then it wasn't what she was looking for. She's going to slowly make her way back to the spotted squirrel. If she sees Craig on her way back, she might stop and stalk him.
You wouldn't see Craig on the way back.
Okay.
As you're making your way back to the inn, roll me a perception check.
12.
A 12. You see as you're walking back to the inn, you see kind of where the corner of the building is, a little bit further away from the entrance to the inn. You see, just for a split second, it almost looks like little scratchings into one of the corner posts of the building.
Like, how big are the scratching? Like,
no more than like someone who is writing on them. So, like, probably like this big, little. You barely notice them in there, but just kind of like the contrast of where they're etched out and like the paint of the building just slightly caught your eye.
if it's not too busy and there's nobody watching her, she would go over and just try and.
Yeah, people are just walking through the street, but no one's going about on there.
She's just having like a little stout day out. She's just gonna go explore then and just be like, what's this?
Yeah. As you like look and you look down at them, you see that there are kind of matches the ones that Raina pointed out on the door frame to Karlar's that secret keyhole of the little etchings that were in the door frame. There's little etchings just kind of like on the corner of this corner of the building.
Can she clock the building? Is there anything that would make that more distinguishable than the others?
This one is the inn.
Oh.
Yep.
Like our inn, the spotted scroll.
The spotted scroll on there. It looks like on there that these were very kept out of the way. You just slightly caught them on there, but it seems that this one was marked up too just a little bit.
Okay, but it's not recent. Like this looks old.
Looks old, weathered. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Right now, you don't understand the language that's involved with it, but you're starting to notice these ones a little bit more.
She's gonna be very curious about this, and she's gonna just. She's just gonna go around town looking for something similar, checking different public buildings, not personal buildings.
For sure. Roll me 2 perception checks, and we'll just do that as like you're walking around town.
10 and 14.
All right. So we'll come back to that in a little bit, as still calls on her adventure around town. All right, Craig, back at the Church of Divine Atonement. As you go inside, you see it's a very simplistic building, mostly made of stone, but the lower parts you can see on the inside have wood wainscoting kind of all around the base. And you see there's about 6 or 7 tabards that are swung down from the ceiling with the elegant blue and the silver bordering all around it. Only 1 or 2 seem to actually have the symbol of Bordanus on it, but you can tell that these tabards have been hanging here for a long time. As you can see, the lower parts where probably the door opens or been kept open, they're a little bit more sun-faded than the higher parts that are high up in the rafters. The ceiling is quite high, kind of peeking up, and you see that there are probably about 10 to 12 pews all within inside this, and a nice altar way at the back. Well, so why? You say I got a problem. What are we doing here?
Okay, so your glasses, right?
Yeah, my mom said they're getting fixed, and Carla didn't say nothing. They took them while sleeping.
Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah, you didn't. When did you start needing those?
Oh, probably about a year and a half or so in there. All of a sudden one day, this man, how do I say, I bumped into someone real hard on there. Kind of like pumped me real hard. I fell over, person came up, touched me, and they picked me up. And then later in that day, I just felt all dizzy. And then when I went to sleep, my vision was all fuzzy and hazy and such. And just, Mom said puberty, sometimes your vision goes funky. But I never heard of that before. But, she said, your body's changing, and I didn't like it. It was weird, though, that I was going through puberty around, 24 years old.
Yeah, see, I don't know much about how all that works, especially for folks of your sort. But I'm pretty sure losing your eyesight doesn't. That ain't part of it.
That's what I thought.
And it's okay. We're gonna get it fixed. But you did get magicked a little bit.
What do you mean magicked?
I mean, someone done a magic to you that fucked your eyes up.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not great.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of the fellow that did it to you.
So you're saying this can be fixed?
I'm saying that most magicians can be fixed by the right person, yeah. I'm not the right person.
Yeah!
We might find the right person here. I don't know. We're looking.
Oh, hey, yeah. So are you looking for the priest?
Priest, healer, anybody they got around here that seems like they know what they're doing.
Yeah. 1 second, then he just goes in and puts his hands up. Come there! Come say, old bastard!
Hey, and he'll just bop him on the head. Fucking keep your voice down. Show some respect. Fuck.
Why? He's not my god.
He ain't mine either, but we're in a fucking church, Jaffe.
I didn't build it.
Neither did I, but we can have this talk later.
Gaza! Starts yelling again. You see, kind of out of one of the side doors, you see this little tiny man with huge sideburns that dangle down past his robes. You think for a moment he's wearing a really long hat, but then you see the main part of his head is completely bald. He has the halo ring hair, but it's like he has a mullet, but no hair on the top, as it is all business on the sides, super party in the back, with super long sideburns that just dangle on the sides. His hair is completely white, but you can see he probably spends a lot of time out in the sun, as even though he has a pinkish hue, his skin is very, very dark, and instead of tanning, he just burns a lot, as he has that really bad pinkish, almost sun bleached pinkish cheeks on him, and he has those little spots all over the top of his head. He's wearing these very worn, long, bluish robes, and he has these 2 big silver gauntlets that are on his fist, and he kind of comes walking. What is it? Hey there! What can I do for you? What? Coffee, is that you? Who'd you bring for me? Welcome to the Church of Bartanis. How can I help you?
I was hoping that I could talk to one of your healers.
Here, I'm the priest here within the Church of Bartanis. Yeah, my name's Orator Carcer. How can I help you?
Well, this fella here, and he'll just like pat Joffy's head.
Coffee.
He's been afflicted, I think is the word that folks use, and he could use some fixing.
Yeah, we tried this about 3 years ago, and he has no interest in being healed.
It ain't that. Listen, I don't know how Bordanus does things, and no disrespect, I don't much care to know. That ain't actually a problem. This is a different problem. This is one that can be fixed, and should be fixed if we're being moral about it.
As soon as you say, I don't know how Bordanos works, and I don't care to know, you see this little tiny man just come to you down the, like, straight down the main between all the pews. It gets right up on you, looks up. What do you mean you don't care to know how Bordanos works? You're in the god of Bordanos, the house of Bordanos, and you don't care to know?
He stands up real straight, towering over this little man as much as he can, and he just taps the amulet on his chest. I'm already taken.
Gives you like, roll me a persuasion with disadvantage.
I'm not good at, oh god, at disadvantage, fuck. I'm not good at persuasion. At disadvantage, that's a 10.
Pretty good.
No, it's not. I have a +2.
He looks at you. Huh. Lean down. Can't see that too well. Which one's that one?
He does. He leans down as much as it. He both leans down and like takes it, though he doesn't take it off, and like holds it out.
He keeps going like this as you lean down closer and closer. Do you keep going as you like?
Absolutely, because he respects his elders.
He like keeps going like this. And you can see the medallions like hanging in front of his face as you're leaned over, but your face is still up. And he keeps going like this.
He keeps doing it until he physically cannot.
You lean over and like your face in front of his, and he takes his hands and he puts them inside of your face. Though you may be taken by another one. She's awful neutral, right? We all have the same belief on there. You like the laws in one area, the laws of the land. I follow the lands governed by the people. You follow the lands governed by the environment. We're all... Mwah! And he kisses you on the mouth. How can I help ya? I'll make a believer of you yet, boy.
I'm so happy that you're friendly, if I'm honest. And I was getting a little worried there.
All the grumpy ones are gone. They take a couple people away for a while. They're gonna be gone for a couple days, so I'm in place. What can I be happy about?
Okay, well, actually, it's funny you bring that up, because this has to do with those people what got took away. And that is why I thought that the venerable Church of Bordanus, venerable, that's a $20 word, would be inclined to help this poor fella. Because the one that done magic to him, he was with those folk.
Why you say that from the beginning? He's afflicted by the magic? I thought he was just afflicted by the trick.
No, and again, I understand that you're coming from a good place, but judgment doesn't fix anything when it comes to personal matters.
Hey, this is the House of Bordanis. All we do is judge. He turns around and he walks down the aisle. He's like, oh, and he starts just speaking louder, just filling up the whole place. He's talking to you, but he's not even looking at you. And you see he's like, da, 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 da. And every movement he does, he like swings as he walks, right? Because the gauntlets almost like, these gauntlets are huge on him. They're almost like, on League of Legends, those power fist gauntlets that the one person wears. He has like those on this little halfling body, right? So he's doing the swing.
Yeah, I imagine like Hulk hands on a top.
Exactly. Yes, Hulk hand is the best way to describe it. So he's like doing the leaning back and forth. You see, he goes right in front of the altar and like places these giant hands on this box, and he turns around and you see he's like doing the waddle back towards you all. So all right, so he's affected by magic. That's not good. That's not good. So I'm gonna have to detect what type of magic it is and figure out what type of magic it is.
It's like death magic. He smells like raw fish.
You can smell magic. Oh, so that's how she works, does it? Ah, interesting.
No, I got a bad brain and I can't remember the types of magic, so it's easier for me if I smell it. That's how the prayer works for me. It don't always work. I don't know if it always works that way. I ain't asked. When I go back home, I'm gonna ask my mama how it works.
Okay. All right. Well. Okay. We can figure this out. And you see he does kind of the same thing as he does. He gets out his book and he starts reading for a second. And you can tell like he's starting a ritual spell and he kind of like, and he stops the ritual and then he kind of like looks at him. Oh, okay. Yeah, we can, are you? And he taps, like, he puts the box down on one of the pews near you all. And he kind of, like, leans his hand against this, like, wooden box with a little slit in it. Right?
I would recognize this box, yes.
Yeah, he's just patting it. He's like, yeah. Poor Javi. But here's the thing, like...
He will, as he is speaking, Crag will walk up and just start putting gold in the box. One by one.
He's watching you and he's like, I can feel my connection to Dad. It's just growing and ever growing, but I just feel I'm not there quite yet. How much do you put?
He stops at 20.
You put 20 gold pieces in there?
Yes.
He looks at it, he's like...
Well, one at a time, staring at him.
Yeah, and he just keeps patting the box as you keep putting coins in. And then, like, as, like, the face goes lean, but as you add more, you see like the little smirch of like his wrinkly skin start to get like wider and wider as you can see a smile is growing. As you put 20 gold in there, it's like, oh yeah. It's like, for now, that's good enough. That's good enough for now. Here's the thing.
Here's what I can promise you.
Yeah.
If you fix up this delightful young man, I will have a nice long talk with him about the virtues of paying one's tithes to their local church.
Yeah, that's so sweet of you. So very, very nice of you, really. What's your name?
Craig Stumptusk.
Orator! Orator's my name. Nice to meet you, Craig.
Pleasure to meet you, Orator.
So here's the thing. That's gonna work for now. 20 gold pieces, wonderful. Doing the type of magic that I gotta remove this. It takes a lot of. He like takes the big fist and does a big stretch. He kind of like leans a little bit one way and then reconnects himself. He's like, it takes a lot of strength to do that. So for you, because you seem to be helping Joffe out here, and Joffe's like, yeah, he's really helping me out here. He's shut up, Joffe. What's gonna happen is Joffe's gonna pay off the rest on here. Cause you seem to be... Are you moving here?
No, actually, I'm looking to leave tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that's why I kinda guessed there. You had that look in your eye. And, you're not following our God, so you don't really...
So I wouldn't be welcome. Yeah, I got that.
No, you're welcome. Anytime. I'll get you sooner or later. I grow on you. And, he's like, but this will work for a down payment. I'll get the rest from Joffe. Because Joffe, this is your problem. You shouldn't have got cursed. I don't know what type of witch you laid with, but she cursed you good.
Again, with the judging, I know that it's the way you do things, and, when in Corston, but it makes me uncomfortable.
If you didn't want judging, you shouldn't have come to a church of Portanis.
Well, I hope that you're as good at healing as you are at judging, Orator.
All right. Here's the thing. I'll take care of it. He comes up to me. He's like, I need to do a couple things. Are you going to be staying here for this, or are you walking away from this?
I'm going to be staying here, mostly because I'm interested in what you're going to do, because I couldn't figure it out.
No problem. All right. Hey, pick Joffy up and throw him on the altar over there. I'll be right back. And he does like the leaning, walking away, holding the big box, and you hear like because he tips so much to the click, click, click of the gold coins that you put inside of it. So over time, Joffy is upset because you're picking him up. You put him on the altar. The ritual is he comes back with all like these oils and salves and everything like that. He's doing the ritual, and you see like he's holding his hands, these big, large gauntlets, right? And he's going over the body over time. As he approaches where Joffy's eyes are, is when his gauntlets all of a sudden start to radiate this bluing glow on the gauntlets. There, right there, that's where it was applied. And he takes the ointment, tells Joffy to close his eyes. Joffy doesn't want to. He slaps him across the head with the gauntlets. Joffy closes his eyes. And then he applies these salves all over the eyes, and they actually like seal and crust over as he casts this elaborate magic. You know this one from your ritual rites, though they are different. Yours is in your book of understanding for the clerics. You know he's doing the remove curse spell. Yours is done a little bit differently because you use more like the environment and everything like that with yours and like the sea magic. His is as soon as like he applies the salve, does it, it starts to crack, and you see that the salves that are kind of like a bluish, golden, silver hue on them start to turn black, as it almost like, how would you say, like something is growing inside of it, spreading out, changing the color over time, and as it completely fills black, it cracks and falls off. There! Clink, 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 as he does the giant gauntlets. There! Done and done! Joffy, look at us! Can you see? As that power Bondanas gave you, sort! Yeah, that's pretty good. Wonderful! Now get him out of here! Unless you want to fix your drink. Joffy jumps off the counter, shakes his head no.
Okay, Crag will give Orator a little bow. Again, thank you for that.
Orator comes around, and as you're like bowing, are you doing a deep bow or just a slight bow?
A deep bow.
As soon as like the deep bow, he scurries across the counter, puts his big gauntlets on your face again. Come back again. No one comes to visit me very often. I don't know why. Please. Please.
Tell you what, I don't know if, well, rather, I don't know when I'm going to find myself in Corson again, but I will write to you.
That sounds great. And hey, over time, I swear. Italia or Danis. Really that different?
Well, my mama follows one of them, and she don't follow the other one, so yeah, I figure they're a little different.
Talk to me a little bit more, and we can come to an understanding. Anything else I can do for you?
Nope, that'll be all. Thank you. Have a good day.
Have a great day, and always remember, Bordanas only judges those who break the law. No matter what law. Looking at you, Joffy.
Yeah, those that drink and lay with witches, and he's saying all this as he's leaving.
Yeah, so you don't care.
Trip over a branch, probably. Break your arm. Oh, what'd you walk around branches for?
Easy enough. You see, like, Joffy, as he's, like, getting out, he's running around, like, he jumps off the flight of stairs and, like, skips, jumps down a couple of the stairs. He definitely is not doing, like, the feeling around anymore. And, oh, I see! I can see it! What happened to me? Like,
you got magic. We talked about it.
Did I lay with a witch?
No, you didn't lay with a witch. You bumped into the wrong fella. Or actually, the wrong fella bumped into you. I think on purpose, probably.
Ah.
He's a real bitch. Next time I see him, I'm gonna kill him. I don't know. Do you want like an ear or a hand or something? I can mail that to you.
If he has a nice jacket, can I have his jacket?
Yeah, sure. I don't. He's a. And he like gestures to about how tall Tamara is. I don't think it fits you, but I heard you got a seamstress in town. She could fix that up for you.
I can get it tailored. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. And he seems pretty happy. Well, you know what? Hey, how about I go and make you that drink down at the Sultry Apple?
Yeah, see, like I said, I've told you. I look up about what time is it? Like, how long did all that take?
That's you'd probably by the time you walked over everything, it's probably getting closer to about 4.
Okay, so yeah, I did say that I'd walk you back just in case Charles was gonna pitch a fit about you being late or whatever.
Oh, he's gonna be unhappy, but it was either that or I spilled drinks. So.
Well, I'll give him a talking to. I think he'll understand.
All right. And with that, you guys head off to Sultry Apple. Your little excursion over time, Stoke. So you find, at first, you're kind of like looking around, trying to find any type of these little markings or anything else all through town. Going across all of your time and looking around, at first you're they're nowhere else. You don't really think you can find any more. But after a while, you see where the main, kind of where almost like the main market type area is. You see this one building that now people are like doing a wide berth around, but a lot of people are doing like murmurs and whisperings. But then you find out that was actually Danfor's store, just kind of hearing and listening around with the 14. And you see, when you kind of walk past where Danvor is, you see once again on the side of the building, this one here has a couple different symbols than what the inn had. Not matching the same as them, you don't really understand fully what they are. You see one that has a triangle with a circle around the triangle. You see another one that has a square with 2 squiggly lines, kind of like a river running through it, almost like a path through a square block. And then you see the one that has a square with the 2 lines running through it go horizontally. You see another square that has those lines going vertically as well. And there's a little more of symbols, like they're not all in one spot. As you search this building, there's a couple all inside of there. And would you make your way back to Carlar's, like the blacksmith? Like, would you check the whole town, or would you just check places you haven't been before?
The whole town. She's
okay.
Doing a whole round.
Yep. So Carlar's, you would, once again with your 14, you would see that he has a couple of these symbols on there as well. He has like a circle with an X all the way across it. You see that there is a circle with 2 of those squiggly lines, kind of like a road passing through it again. And another one that has a triangle with a circle around it. And then the last one you would see when you're going around town is you do go to the Sultry Apple. And you see that there is a triangle with a little V at the peak of the triangle. And what's the last one? There is a square with a little dot in the center of it. And the last one on there is 3 little squares, kind of like that look like a triangle. If I can, yeah. I got a whole thing right here. So.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yep.
So it was Denver, Carlar, and the Sultry Apple. Those are the 3 destinations. Or did I miss one?
You missed one you missed one due to your check, but yeah, you.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, that's fine.
Yeah, those are the ones you got with your 14. There was a couple, but yeah. With your checks, that's what you got.
Okay.
Yep. And with that last one, you would probably at that same time see Craig and Joffe approaching inside of there. Before we go to all that, what are the other 2? You guys would be working for the most rest of the day. Raina, are you going to be helping them, or is there something else you want to do?
Oh no, I'll help.
Okay. So you guys would just be working away. It's getting a little bit later. You can see it's getting a little not dark in here, but you can definitely tell the light's getting a little bit dimmer. You see Lunadrim going around, starting to light up some of the lanterns inside. You can now smell the food is starting to. It's not fully prepared, but you can definitely tell Ophelia is getting deep into the cooking process, as most of the food smell is starting to waft out into the room, and people are getting excited for it.
Has anybody gotten drinks? Like, has there been any acknowledgement that their drink has been paid for? Okay.
Yeah. But you wouldn't notice that.
Probably not. I'm just asking us to play.
Deep into there, yeah. But Raina, you would see that some people would go by your table. They see that you guys are really deep into it, but with your passive perception, people would go up to your table, see that you're working, But if you ever like gave them like a slight glance, there'd be like the recognition of a nod and holding their drink and then going back to their table, as Compton is completely off into the void of these books.
I think Raina would nod back to them courteously and then just keep going back to the work.
No problem.
I think when Compton does this stuff, when he gets excited, he just like reaches out. Oh my god! So look at this one right here. This one's named Voltius. Like he's very much, like this is the most excited you've seen Compton. And when all like boundaries and barriers are gone, he's just in your fucking space. If you're reading something, he just puts it over it. He's like, oh, look right here, right? He's just way into it. And so every new little thing is just like a burst of energy and excitement, but super focused still on the work itself.
All right. Yeah. So, Craig, as you approach the Sultry Apple with Jaffe, you see, because you have very high passive perception, Stoke kind of off to the side of the building, just kind of like, how would you looking at these symbols, Stoke?
Like a little kid pointing at ants, instead of she's running her finger over the...
Yeah. So you see Stoke just off to the side of the building. Not, like, at first, you wouldn't notice her because just so far off from the main door. But then you just see this person that kind of resembles Stoke just rubbing the wood for a moment and then peering a little closer.
I think just like as he's walking in, because he still like it knows that Stoke doesn't care for him much, he will like wave and say, "Hey, Stoke."
You're still with Jaffe?
Yes.
Hi. Where were you?
I was taking care of Jaffe, and he gestures to Jaffe, who is just walking around now.
Hey, fix my eyes!
I didn't fix his eyes, Orator did. I took him to the fellow who fixed his eyes.
No, don't start spreading that around town. You fixed my eyes. If you give that guy too much credit, he's gonna be...
He literally cast, like he did the prayer that fixed your eyes.
Yes.
I can't do that. Not just because I don't have the supplies, but like I'm just about tapped. I couldn't have done that.
Craig found a way to get my eyes fixed.
That's a better way to frame it. Yeah. If you wanna at all give me credit, do it that way.
Hey, I owe my drinks. Stoke, you want a drink? On the house. The first one's free on me.
Free drinks, free drink.
Yeah, I'll have drinks.
Ah! Am I still back there?
I'm glad you got your eyes fixed.
Yeah.
I did like iced tea, though.
Tea. Oh, what do you mean, iced tea?
It's okay.
Kind of looks at you, all curious. Alright. Come on in. And do you hear like the music is there? There's a person in the corner with a fiddle just playing away. This is definitely unlike the Spotted Scroll, a much more rowdy place. Like, people are laughing. You can see all around. The coin is going around. People are playing cards. Other people are just laughing, hollering away. Drinks are sloshing. It's later in the afternoon. And then as you see the tiefling man, very large, built. The vests go all around. It's like, hey, Jaffe. You need to get to making the drinks, you see. We got a full bar here tonight. I don't know what you're all getting up to here, but real busy. Oh, yeah, sorry. I had a drinks real. Did you find anywhere to sit, guys? And he'll run up back.
Sorry about that. Looking at Charles.
Looks at you up and down. Looks at Stoke. You're the new people in town, right?
That is, yeah. Very observant of you.
Oh, no, it's just people, rumors swirling around. People talking about strangers in town who've been fixing some problems, as they say. And I don't think we've met once before. I talked to you, but my name's Charles. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Charles. Craig, Stone Tusk.
Grabs your hand, like gives it a real firm shake. Looks at you deep and square in the eyes. Nice to meet you, Craig. What's your poison?
Whatever's pouring, honestly. And, hey, I don't know you, so I don't know if you're gonna do this, but just in case you feel like giving Jaffe a hard time about being late, because he seemed like he wasn't happy about it. We were cleaning up after your boss. So, just something to consider.
Roll me. Are you trying to intimidate him, or are you just trying to prove a point?
I am just trying to get Jaffe off the hook.
Roll me persuasion, then.
Could be worse. It's a 14.
Okay, 14. So he's gonna... He looks at you for a moment, like looking through you. And for a moment, there's like a weird like turn on his face. But he almost looks like through you for a moment, like looking you up and down, kind of trying to place. And you see like that little tinge of recognition to what you're saying. And he just looks at you, gives you a nod. Like, you know what? He's had a real rough go of it. I think I can let him off the hook this one time. Easy enough. I think he said, you know what? Not the first one. How about the next 3 or 4 on me? How's courtesy, you could say.
Well, hell, far be it from me to pass up hospitality.
That's all we are here. Ask anyone. Is Charles Moore home? Very hospitable. How about you, little lady?
Just something nice.
Something sweet, something sour, something smooth. What can I get for you?
Something that doesn't have poison in it.
Looks at both of you. It seems the rumors in town are quite true. You all seem to be the very, kind of gives a wink to both of you. Perceptive types. Same to you, little lady. Whatever you want, on the house tonight. What do you say?
Yeah. Nodding.
Can't promise no poison, because, depending on how much you drink, a little bit of poison might happen, but a little bit of fun might happen too. And you see, as he says that, he looks towards a couple people in the bar. You see a very well-dressed, elegantly, more elegant than almost anybody else in here, a very fine corset pushed up to display her assets, walking around, going from person to person. And you see another gentleman, very well buttoned up shirt, more of like a silky flowing with very tight leather pants on, doing the same thing, going around and around. Right over there, that's Marcus there. And that one over there is Jesse. You know what? Tell him that since you're all just such refined customers, tell him it's on the house for morning tonight, if it piques your interest.
We can just buy them? Like, what do we do with them?
Well,
Hey, if you have to ask, maybe it's not for you.
well, hey,
Let's go find us a seat.
Okay.
kind of smiles as you all go there. Yeah, so there are a couple seats like empty at the bar. There is one table. You see there are some people who are like running a card game, and when they see you guys pass by, hey, we got an open seat here. You got coin? You got gambling?
Hey, you? And he points at the guy who spoke up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Fair enough.
And he's gonna move to the open table.
Yeah, you guys go sit down and everything like that. you see everybody's walking around. People are having a good time. As you said that, like you see the murmuring and like the whispering, and when people are like looking over at there, and then you see one guy in the chair leans real far back to the table behind him and kind of like does the pointing towards your direction. So like rumors, like this seems to be where the rumor mill goes around as everything's kind of slowly making its way around the room, the sultry apple. Yeah, but after a while you see Jaffe comes back, like, hopping, skipping, jumping, like weaving now through the crowd, his normal usual self, twirls around with like his little tray with his drinks. All right. Here you go, on here. If I remembered correctly, Stoat, you like the sweet things here. So, you'll like this one. It'll knock your boots off, but sweet as can be. Gonna taste like a little bit of like how you say, like a little chocolate type cake mix on top, and then in the bottom it'll just rock your socks off. Craig, I know you're a little like, tough guy. So, here, this one, it's gonna, once again, don't do it like you did the first one. This one's gonna start off slow, and then just, bam, gonna get you. So
it's a sipper, yeah.
It's a sipper. All right. And Mornholm said, you keep ordering as much as you want, Mornholm. I don't know what's up with him today, but he's just like, whatever they want, they get.
Yeah. Hey, listen. And he bends down real close to Jaffe. Don't you tell anybody else, but he figured us out.
Ain't bullshit.
He's real perceptive.
Part of the circus. The circus. Don't the circus.
Yeah, no, she's the fucking security. Look at her.
Shit you never expected.
That's the point. But hey, I need you, actually, to make sure that he don't tell nobody. Okay?
Yeah. You'll make sure no. Mom's the word. That's the Morham fella. He's real tight-lipped when he wants to be.
Very good. And now that we're down here, actually, I did have a thing I want to ask you about. We're leaving town tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but hey, it's going to be good for you, because I'm looking to take like 10 decent bottles on the road with me. So I'm trusting you to pick those out. I just need you to have them at the Spotted Scroll in the morning.
Spot? You know what? What do you want? You know what? I can go. Hey,
you
fixed my eyes. No, I fixed my eyes. What are you looking for? Like, what type of blend are you looking for? Are you looking for smooth, charcoaly? Or are you looking for a little more woodsy type thing? Because I can work all night. I'll get it for you. You fix my eyes.
Well, here's what I know. I know that Compton likes whiskey. I think Raina likes whiskey. I don't mind whiskey. Stoat, how do you feel about whiskey?
Whiskey. What's whiskey? Which one's that one?
It's the one that looks like tea but tastes like burning.
Like the iced tea we had?
It looks like that, yeah. Don't taste nothing like that.
No, it's got more of like a to it, and then it gets smooth.
I mean, yeah, I like it. It makes it nice and warm feeling.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. So really, you just want
just mix it with some good whiskey. 10 bottles.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage though, because he's sitting here and he has an idea. But yeah, you go.
It's a 19. The other one was a nat 1. So
he looks at you and he goes, 10 bottles, no problem. Yeah. You might have to meet me here for it in the morning though.
That's fine. Whatever works for you.
Bring the wagon.
Of course.
Enjoy yourselves on there. Not too much fun though.
Hey, actually,
gives you the rubber jab.
I did have one more question about this place because I ain't been here. Do you have like folks you could?
And he kind of like as soon as you stop, he goes, "I got Marcus over there. I got Jess." And
so here's the thing.
It's early enough that they haven't gone too many customers in, so like prime time right now.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for that information, Jaffe. Not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for somebody that I could send on an errand real quick.
Oh! Well, Thomas has been here about the last night and a half, So honestly, you probably ask Thomas. He's always looking for a good coin. He's a big fan of Jesse over there.
Do I see Thomas?
4 o'clock. Roll me a perception check.
Absolute fucking degenerate.
He didn't get his allowance today. He should.
He did. He got a gold pieces.
Oh,
He got a gold piece. He did.
That's a 15. 7 plus 8 is 15, right?
15. You see, like, where the bar goes around, and there's like that little tight wedge between the wall and the bar, and there's just enough space for. You see Thomas sitting right there, just right in the corner, holding a little flask of like ale, and he's like sipping it, looking around. And he keeps looking over at Jesse, and he keeps like drinking the drink. Keeps looking over at Jesse and drinking a drink, and just sitting there waiting.
He will look directly at Thomas. And with thaumaturgy, to be absolutely certain that he can be heard over the noise of the bar, he will just shout, "Hey, Thomas, come here."
Thomas like stands up. You see a bunch of people look in your direction. Thomas like, "Oh, hey there, you Mr. Craig. Craig, was it right, Mr. Craig? Oh.
Don't call me Mr. Craig, just Craig.
Oh, Craig.
Hey, I need you to do something, because you're in the business of running errands, right? I heard you're real good at it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Is the Compton need help with something?
I need help with something, but you'll be talking to Compton, so it's fine.
Okay.
Hey, so what I need you to do, I need you to, with those fast little feet of yours, run on down the spotted scroll, find Compton and Miss Raina, and just tell them that me and Stoat are here.
Oh, is that it?
That's literally it, yeah.
Alright, and do I have to wait for them, or can I come right back?
Just tell them we're here. If they want to come with you, if they're ready to leave now, and they want to come, it is your job to escort them. If they're just like, yeah, okay, whatever, we'll be there, you can leave.
Alright, yeah, I can definitely do that.
Yeah, sure. Hey, buddy, if you do a fine enough job, I'll put in a good word with Jesse. You get on, go.
I can definitely do that.
It's cash on delivery. Go, come back, I'll pay it.
Alright. Kind of like sullenly, like, yeah. And then.
You ain't gonna be spending it on the road. Go, fuck.
Did you need something, Stoat?
Yeah, I need French fries.
Oh, the potato skins.
Oh, yeah. But make sure that it's Ophelia making it.
Okay, yeah, I can definitely do that. Cash on delivery.
This is also cash on delivery. Go.
And he takes off. Just pulls out the door. Scrambles.
It's a little fucked up to DoorDash food from another place to the restaurant you're eating at.
I didn't know they had. I thought they only had women and.
I assume they have food. I also assume it's bad food.
They have, like, in the middle, you see it. Like, they have in the middle an open fireplace on there, and they have, like, a board on a spit roasting. And then you'll see every so often, either Joffrey or Mornhelm will go up and cut a piece off of it and then slap it on there. Roll me Constitution saving throw there, Greg.
I was worried about to say that.
Oh.
This is a 4.
Yeah.
You're so constituted.
That.
I rolled a 1.
Yeah, that hunger, like when that smell hits you, like it's not even the smell. The cooked part isn't getting you, but when you see like those juices and the blood dripping off of it, like, it gets you going.
Is Joffrey still like within arm's reach? Did he wander off when I called Thomas over?
Because the bar is so like packed, I would say Joffrey, if you reached real far, you'd be able to find him at another table.
You said Charles was also serving people, right?
Yeah, Charles is all around. Yeah.
Not gonna bug Joffrey. I'll call for Charles. Same thing. Thaumaturgy to make my voice louder because I'm not even gonna look for him. Hey, Charles.
Yeah. Let's see. He walks up and approaches you, puts his hand on the table, leans like, "Hey there, Craig."
Hey there, Big Bill. Why don't you go get me some food?
Yeah, no problem. Cut you up a nice big piece.
Thank you. Gives a little wave.
No problem. Turns around, goes and does it. Yep. Easy enough. He grabs you 1-2 Stoat and puts it. Doesn't even wait to ask. You can tell he just wants to get it over with.
Stoat's, she's got her drink. Do we have the drink yet? Was that served?
Yeah, we'll take coffee by this time. Got you guys your drinks.
Sniffing it. She actually hands it over to you, Craig. Does it have anything in it?
Craig is going to stare at it very intently and mutter something under his breath and not cast anything. He'll nod and hand it back. Yeah, I mean, there's alcohol in it, but you expect that. Alcohol is one of those things that's only really a poison if you drink too much of it, like Charles said, so. Bottoms up, and he'll raise his glass for a toast.
She toasts it to him. She says, "Good job with Joffy."
I didn't do anything. I walked him across town.
And you hear like across the bar, "See that guy over there? He fixed my eyes."
No, didn't.
That's not what Joffy said.
Yeah, well, Joffy's a little dumb. He still thinks we're circus people.
All right. With that, we're gonna take a break there.
Yay!
Incredible. We've gotten so much done, y'all. Y'all haven't talked to Orsic, though.
Look,
No.
Orsic knows where
The
we're
one
at.
thing we said.
So we'll say, let's say,
Orsic.
10:08. We'll all come back.
All right.
Is that?
All right,
Yep,
see
I
you.
know what time that is for me. 10:08. Got it.
Yep.
But Grim,
Alright.
can I borrow you for a second?